There are names that belong to people. And then there are names that become institutions. Beyoncé is not just a singer. She is not just a performer. She is not just a celebrity. She is a moment in history. When her name is spoken, it carries weight, power, expectation. It represents excellence, earned, not gifted. Control, fought for, not handed over. Legacy, built brick by brick, year after year. But this level of dominance did not arrive by accident. It was not luck. It was not privilege. And it was never effortless. This is the story of Beyoncé Giselle Knowles-Carter. The woman behind the perfection. The discipline behind the glamour. The cost behind the crown. Before the stadiums. Before the awards. Before the world learned how to spell her name. There was a little girl in Houston, Texas. Beyoncé Giselle Knowles was born into a working-class family, not wealth, not fame. What she had instead was something far more dangerous: focus. From a very young age, Beyoncé didn't just enjoy music, she studied it. She watched performances not for entertainment, but for precision. She learned how to hold a note, how to move on beat, how to command attention. Adults noticed something unsettling. She didn't behave like a child chasing applause. She behaved like someone chasing mastery. At talent shows, she didn't just perform. She dominated. And when she lost, because yes, she lost, she didn't cry. She trained harder. This mindset would define her entire life. Destiny's Child did not begin as a success story. It began as sacrifice. Endless rehearsals. Missed childhood moments. Schoolwork done in vans and backstage hallways. While other children rested, Beyoncé worked. And when Destiny's Child finally broke through, the pressure multiplied. Suddenly, she wasn't just responsible for herself. She was responsible for a group. For expectations. For survival. Lineup changes came. Public criticism followed. Whispers of favoritism. Accusations. Tension. Through it all, Beyoncé did what she always did. She stayed silent. She stayed focused. She stayed prepared. While others reacted emotionally, she reacted strategically. Destiny's Child became one of the most successful girl groups of all time, not because it was easy, but because Beyoncé refused to let chaos destroy the mission. Group is a gamble. Fail, and you become a cautionary tale. Succeed, and you rewrite the rules. Beyoncé chose risk. Her solo debut was not reckless, it was calculated. She entered the industry as a solo artist not to experiment, but to take control. She demanded involvement in production, in visuals, in sound, in image. This was not common. This was not encouraged. But Beyoncé was no longer asking for permission. She was building an empire. And with every album, the standard rose. Not just musically, culturally. Beyoncé's performances became infamous, not for flash, but for flawlessness. No missed notes. No lazy choreography. No half-effort moments. What the public saw as perfection was actually obsession. Rehearsals that lasted longer than concerts. Standards so high they terrified collaborators. Corrections that never stopped. Beyoncé was not chasing praise. She was chasing control over her legacy. Because she understood something early. Talent fades. Trends shift. But discipline outlives everything. As her fame exploded, Beyoncé did something unexpected. She spoke less. While others explained themselves, defended themselves, reacted online, Beyoncé withdrew. No constant interviews. No messy public feuds. No oversharing. Silence became her armor. And in that silence, she learned how to move differently. She stopped feeding the media machine. She started controlling the narrative. Behind the image of power was a woman experiencing something deeply human. Love, trust, betrayal. But Beyoncé did not collapse publicly. She transformed pain into art. She turned vulnerability into strength. Her music shifted. Her visuals deepened. Her voice carried more truth. This wasn't heartbreak for attention. This was survival through expression. Then Beyoncé did what no one expected. She dropped an album, without warning. No rollout. No interviews. No explanation. Just art. This move didn't just shock the industry. It rewrote it. Music was no longer just sound. It was vision. It was story. It was control. From that moment on, artists followed her lead. But none could replicate her precision. Beyoncé stopped just entertaining. She started educating. Through symbolism. Through history. Through imagery that forced conversation. She didn't shout messages. She embedded them. And because of that, they lasted. She used her platform not to lecture, but to elevate. Culture noticed. The industry shifted. The world paid attention. Motherhood changed Beyoncé, but it did not slow her. It sharpened her. She became more intentional, more protective, more grounded. She showed that power and softness can coexist. That legacy includes what you leave behind, not just what you achieve. Here is the truth few talk about. Perfection is expensive. Privacy costs visibility. Control costs connection. Greatness costs rest. Beyoncé gave up normalcy long ago. And she did it knowingly. Because legends are not born comfortable. They are built through discipline, sacrifice, and isolation. Beyoncé is no longer chasing success. She is protecting history. She is not here to be liked. She is here to be remembered. And decades from now, when trends fade and names disappear, Beyoncé will remain. Not because she was loud, but because she was exact.